7,891,000. That's a pretty big number, and it's also the estimated number of people who are receiving some form of financial aid through welfare. The subject of welfare is very diversified, and many opinions vary greatly on this subject. According to a researcher, Daniel Watts, our federal government is spending almost $1 trillion a year on welfare. This provides people who need it. This provides people with aid who need stuff for like food, money, housing, medical aid, things like that. According to Ben Carson, poverty rates have fallen from 25.8% to 16%. So it doesn't really make sense as to why we are spending so much and so many people are receiving financial aid through welfare if our poverty rates are decreasing, and it's meant to help the poor. In this speech, I will be discussing what welfare is, the funding behind that makes this program possible, and the different types of people who use welfare. First issue I will discuss is what welfare is. Now, some of you may have an idea of what welfare is, and others may have no idea. Well, welfare is a public policy concept in which government programs are introduced to help a society's poor or disabled population re-enter the workforce. This program is not a bad thing, but it's also not necessarily a good thing. It's not just one program, but it's a variety of programs, so there are many different types of programs throughout this one program. Social Security is the biggest form of welfare, and then there are other things like Medicaid, food stamps, things like that. A con to this is people abuse this. Like, they may think they need it, but they don't. They can easily work or earn their own money, but they're too lazy to work, so they don't see why they should work if they can live off someone else's money. A pro to this is it does help the disabled, and it does help people who might have lost their job and are in the process of looking for another one or having a hard time finding a job. And it also benefits children, like parents who may not make a lot and are having a hard time paying for their child's schooling or things like that. It can help them better pay for the things their child needs. Now, how does this $1 trillion program get funded? Well, in the U.S., aid has increased immensely since 2001. A con of this is our federal government does pay for it, and it is people's tax money that pay for this program, and that's what makes it possible. Some benefits to this are it does help the disabled, so say someone catches a disease and then they can no longer work, it makes it easier for them to earn a living or get everything they need. And then the kinds of people who use this, like I said earlier, it does benefit children greatly. So if a parent is disabled or they can't provide for their child, it does help them pay for the things their child needs. And it does help the disabled. But a con of this is it does get abused. People who don't necessarily need it, that they could easily go out and earn a living and get a job and pay for their things they need by earning their own money. They don't want to do that because why earn a living and get a job when you could live off someone else's money? So in conclusion, welfare is used for a variety of things, and the subject is very diversified and opinions vary greatly. But the main thing to take away is that some people use it appropriately while others don't use it appropriately and abuse this program. I hope I have enlightened you on what welfare is, how this government program is possible through funding, and the different kinds of people who use it. Question? Yeah.
Have you found any other ways that people use to explore welfare?
I mean, not really. I didn't find anything personally in my research that I found, but basically just like if they aren't disabled, they're just using taxpayers' money to provide like food and stuff, even though they don't need it. They could easily go out and use it. Kim?
Okay, so is like Social Security and like benefits like that, like unemployment, is that under the roof of welfare?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not just one program. There are a variety of programs, but there are many.
think people probably assume like people are abusing like the maybe food stamp side of welfare. Have you found anything about people abusing the unemployment or the Social Security? I think people probably abuse the unemployment as well, but maybe more specifically Social Security.
Yeah, I mean, like, I personally didn't find anything, like, specific, like, how they are abusing it, just in general that there are people who don't necessarily need to be on welfare, but they are.
And like, what ways are they like cheating the government? Do you know, like, kind of like people who
Just
use
by
it?
like I said earlier, just, like, if they aren't disabled and they don't need to be on welfare, they could easily make their own living and earn their own money, but they don't want to, so they are on welfare.
All right.